Now it's time to face the one thing that stops most people from achieving their goals: fear. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a sign that you're about to do something pretty brave. And every person who has ever accomplished something amazing, they had to face fear at one point or another. The difference between those people who have succeeded at what they've done and those people that stay stuck, it's not that they don't have fear, it's that they're willing to move forward in spite of their fear or despite their fear. This week, we are facing your fears head on. Now, I'm talking gently because I know how much fear has stopped people, but I don't want it to stop you. I want you to identify those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. I wrote a whole book about them called Don't Eat That Lie. We're challenging the voices that say you're not ready or that you're not good enough. I wrote another book called More Than Enough because I know that these are the things that hold people back. This week, I'm teaching you how to take bold action, even when you're scared. Let's dive in. So, fear is really a sign that you're going to do something brave or that you're doing something brave. And I want you to shift that Fulcrum mindset shift, how you think about fear. Because most people see fear as, I'm scared, so I'm stopping. It's like a stop sign. But fear is really a green light. What if the fear you're feeling is an internal compass pointing you towards growth? What if fear is simply your mind's way of saying, this is important, this matters, let's pay attention to it? Every time you feel fear, it's because you're on the edge of something amazing, something significant. You're about to stretch beyond your comfort zone. Usually that's how we know that we're moving out of our comfort zone, when we start to feel fear about it. But that also means you're about to grow. The question is not, am I afraid? The question is, will I let fear stop me in this? This week, you're learning to see fear differently, not as your enemy, not as the reason to draw back, but as a sign that you're headed in the right direction, doing something amazing. So here's the hard truth. Fear never really goes away. Most people think that successful people aren't afraid, but if you were to ask them, they're still afraid when they do amazing things. I've heard actors and actresses and singers say, even when I step on the stage years later, even though it's been years since I've been doing this, every time I step on the stage, I'm a little afraid. Pink, people think that confidence means having no fear, but that's not true. Successful people feel fear just like everybody else. The difference is they don't let the fear stop them. Fear doesn't make the decision for them. They feel the fear and they move forward anyway. You don't conquer fear by avoiding it. You conquer fear by taking the next action step in spite of it. Can I tell you the truth? I was so afraid to show up online, especially with video. I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid of the unknown landscape. But here I am. I felt the fear and I did it anyway. And every time I go live, I still feel the fear and I do it anyway. You cannot wait until you feel ready. You'll be waiting forever. Waiting to feel confident? Man, confidence will come after you take the first step, not before. It's when you get into it. I just mentioned going live. When I go live, I'm a little nervous in the beginning, and then I sit back in my chair and I get real comfortable with it. And that same thing will happen for you. depending on what it is you're trying to do. You have to go anyway. And I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The fear sort of subsides. But fear doesn't disappear. You just get better at moving in spite of fear. So let's talk about the common fears that typically hold us back. We got fear of failure. This is that idea that, what if I try and it doesn't work out? What if I mess up? What if I waste too much time and too much money? Sometimes we're so caught up in that fear of failure that we won't even start anything because we're worried that, well, I tried something last time and I failed at it and I don't want to waste no more time and I don't want to waste no more money at this, so I'm not going to try again. The fear of success. I know this sounds crazy, but many people have a fear of success. And if you think about these questions, you might realize you have a fear of success. It's that thought that, what if I succeed and everything changes? I like things the way they are and I don't want them to change. Or what if I can't handle success? What if it's just like too much? Or what if people start expecting more from me based on the fact that I was able to do this one thing? And so they have a fear of success. The next one is fear of judgment. I just told you guys, I had this fear, and I guess I still have it a little bit, but I still move in spite of it. What will people think of me if I start the podcast? Well, the people who know me, what will they think of me? That's not her. She's acting different. What about the people that don't know me? What if they laugh at me? What if they criticize me? These are the things that I worry about with this fear of judgment. But I moved on anyway. And look at me. I'm here. Now, let's look at this next one. Fear of inadequacy. This is that thought that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, or that you're not ready enough. You don't have enough of what it takes. The unfortunate part about fear of inadequacy is that we find ourselves trying to get more knowledge, trying to get more degrees, trying to get more things, and then that we think are going to help us look good towards our goal, but we don't need those things. We usually just need to move with what we have. But because we don't have those things, we think I can't move forward and achieve my goal because I don't have those things. You have that fear of inadequacy. What about the fear of being seen? I think this goes hand in hand for me with the fear of judgment. What if people notice me? What if I start to stand out? What if I'm vulnerable with people and really show them my thoughts and my feelings and they cancel me? Oof, that sounds scary to me in this age of social media. And maybe you have a fear of being seen. Maybe you think, I'm a behind the scenes person. I help people. I don't really want to take the stage. Really? You know what that is? That's your fear of being seen. Go ahead, take the stage, take your place, all right? How about the fear of the unknown? Like, a lot of people have this one and they just say, I'm afraid. It's you don't know what's going to happen on the other side of this goal. And so you don't go towards the goal because you're not sure if you will actually achieve it or whatever, because you can't control the outcome. So if you feel like you won't go towards the goal or you're afraid because you don't know if it's going to work out, that's that fear of the unknown. And then there is the fear of disappointing others. What if I let people down? What if I don't meet their expectation? What if I embarrass my family? If you're thinking about this, this is that fear of disappointing others. Now, at the root of all of these fears is the fear that I'm not enough and you are enough. So let's talk about what courage is. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Courage is taking the next step even when your hands are shaking. Courage is showing up even when you don't feel like you're ready. This week, I posted a video that said, Imperfect action is still action. Listen, I've been working day and night to build these courses, to get ready for the podcast, to build the community. And some days I've been feeling like maybe I'm not ready to launch. Maybe I'm not ready to launch. Maybe I'm not ready to launch. I just kept repeating that to myself, thinking maybe I need to watch more TikToks. Maybe I need to look at YouTube. And then I decided that no matter what, I am going to get my courage up and I am going to do it anyway. Courage is speaking up even when your voice trembles. Listen, you don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing and you need to be relentless. You got to be willing to try. You got to be willing to take risk. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable for a little while. And here's a big one. You got to be willing to fail sometimes. And I pause for that one because I think sometimes we think, what if I try and I fail? Have you failed before? That means you will survive. You will be able to handle the failure. All right. But if you never try, you'll never know that you probably will succeed. And if you have a fear of success, you got to be willing to succeed. Now, I have faced my share of fears. If I'm going to be honest, I probably have had all of the fears we saw in the previous slide. I had a fear of putting myself out there, a fear of being judged, a fear of failure. And every single time I felt that fear and did it anyway, I had the most amazing experiences, the most amazing blessings when I acted in spite of my fear. The question is not, are you afraid? The question is, will you let fear stop you? Your answer is going to determine your future, and your answer is going to determine whether or not you meet your goals. All right. Limiting beliefs or lies, whichever you like to call them, are the stories you tell yourself that keep you small. Let's challenge them. Some of them are, I'm not smart enough. Really? Says who? Based on what evidence? Or is this just the story you've been telling yourself? Another one I've heard is, I'm too old. I can't go back to school. I'm too old. I can't start a business. The other one, I'm too young. I don't know enough yet. I got to go get this. I got to go do that. I got to go get this degree. I got to go to school. Okay, I'm telling y'all my business. I think that's a thought that I had when I was younger. I'm too young, so I need more. I need more experience. I need more knowledge. I need more everything, right? But age is just a number. I heard Colonel Sanders started KFC when he was 62. And we know that Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook when he was 19. Your age doesn't determine your worth or your potential. Another one I hear, a limiting belief, is I don't have enough experience. Remember, I just talked about that. But remember, everybody starts somewhere and you gain the experience along the way. Every expert was once a beginner at that thing. But the experience is gained by doing it, not by sitting on the sidelines pretending like you're going to get to it one day. You can't just wait to get the experience. You got to jump in and get the experience. The last one that I hear very often is people like me don't succeed. Who decided that? Where did you learn that? Is it really true or is it a limiting belief that you inherited from somewhere? Maybe in your upbringing? But I want you to take a minute and think about someone who grew up just like you, but they were successful. Another one I hear is, I always fail at things like this. I'm not academic enough. I'm not smart enough. Or, how do you learn and grow? I want you to remember that failure is not final. Failure is just feedback. I often say, I don't lose. I either win or I learn. So remember, when you feel like you failed, you need to stop and think about that thing and do that Fulcrum mindset thing. Shift your mind about that. You didn't lose. You learned. What did you learn? Now, This week, I want you to identify your limiting beliefs and I want you to challenge them. You're going to replace them with empowering truths, all right? Because what you believe about yourself determines what you try. And what you try determines what you achieve. And if you won't even try, we ain't gonna never get to those goals. All right? So here's something powerful. Fear and excitement create the same physical response in your body. Did you know that? Think about it. When you're scared, your heart beats fast. When you're excited, your heart beats fast. When you're scared, your palms start to sweat. When you're excited, your palms start to sweat. When you're scared, you get butterflies in your stomach. And when you're excited about something, you get butterflies in your stomach. Your body can't tell the difference between fear or excitement. The only difference is how your mind interprets the sensation. And remember, we're doing mindset shifts here. So when you're afraid, I want you to try this. I want you to reframe it as excitement. And if you struggle with a little bit of reframing, check out my course called Stuck to Unstoppable. We do a lot of that reframing. Instead of I'm terrified to launch a business, I want you to say, I'm excited to learn and grow through this new challenge. Instead of saying, I'm scared to speak on a stage, I want you to say, I'm excited to share my message. Instead of saying, I'm afraid of failing, I want you to say, I'm excited to see what I'm capable of. Now, this is not about denying the fear that you have. It's just about choosing how you interpret that fear. This is just a simple shift from fear to excitement. That shift can change everything for you. Now, let me teach you a powerful tool. It's called the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins coined this phrase, 5-second rule. She has that in her book. She has it in her book called Let Them, which I'm reading now. Here's how it works. When you feel yourself hesitate, or when fear starts to creep in, or when you're about to talk yourself out of something, you're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to act. All right? The countdown interrupts your fear pattern. It gets your brain to stop your mind to stop overthinking, and it launches you into the action before your brain can even come up with an excuse. You need to send an email that you're nervous to send. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press in. You need to make a call that you're nervous to make. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press that call button. You need to post on social media. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, post it. Let me tell you a little secret. So here's what I do when I'm going to post a video on TikTok. I will wait until I have something extremely important to do, like a meeting to go to or a doctor's appointment or something where I'm about to be busy for the next 20 minutes or more, or hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So often, sometimes I will sit in my car and I will record a TikTok, and then I'll press it and post it, and then I'll go into the doctor's appointment. You know what that does for me? It keeps me from laboring over it after I post it and watching the likes or the comments or the lack thereof, and then going back to delete it. So because I'm stuck in the doctor's office, I don't have time to look at that. Now I'm distracted. I'm doing something else, meeting with the doctor, the nurse, etc. Or if I have to go into a meeting in about 5 minutes and there's a post that I've been working on, before I post it, I wait till just maybe a couple minutes before I have to go into the meeting, and then I post it. Now I'm stuck in the meeting. I can't be on my phone trying to delete it or listen to it or overanalyze it, all right? So this 5-second rule really does work. Maybe you need to have a difficult conversation. Get with the person and then think to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start talking about what you want to start talking about, okay? Because the longer you wait to post it, to send it, to dial it, to talk, your brain starts doing what? Talking you out of it. You already know, right? So don't give yourself time to overthink it. Count down and then act on it. All right. And then let's talk about your deep thoughts. You've got at least 3 questions here that really get down into this fear so we can expose it. The first one is, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? The second one is, what dreams do I have that I've been putting on hold because of fear? I always wanted to speak out on social media. I always wanted to be in a public speaking space, but I've always been afraid of the judgment. I'm getting over that now because I'm just doing it. And the more I do it, the easier it's becoming. Next question. Where did my limiting beliefs come from? Oof. Again, I talk about this one in my course, From Stuck to Unstoppable. We spend a whole module talking about where these beliefs came from, the lies we tell ourselves, and also the lies that have been told to us that we have consumed. Remember, I told you I wrote a whole book called Don't Eat That Lie because I know that these limiting beliefs are the things that hold us back from achieving our goals and from living the life that we want to live. The next question is, whose voice am I hearing when I'm doubting myself? Who said those things to you? Those limiting things, those mean things, those bad things. And if you need help with that because you remember who said these things to you, please reach out to a therapist so that you can get to the depths of this, uproot it, and deal with it and move on so that you can go after your goals. Next question. When have I been brave in the past? What did that feel like? How did that change me? What would I tell my younger self who was afraid? These questions are going to help you understand your relationship with fear, and they're going to help you understand your relationship with courage. All right. Every week, I give you an AI tip. So you can use AI to challenge your limiting beliefs and build the courage. ChatGPT can help you reframe your fears. It can help you create courage plans. It can help you build affirmations. It can help you find evidence that contradicts that limiting belief. There are other apps that can help as well. Think Up helps you with affirmations, Insight Timer for courage meditations, and Headspace for anxiety. And these are a few tools that can support you in building your courage. Joshua 1:9 says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And I say that because I know that to be true. Every time I was afraid, he was there. And I'm telling you, he'll be there with you as well. You are not facing your fears alone. God is with you. He's calling you to be strong and to be courageous. He's not calling you to be fearless, just courageous. I want you to feel the fear and move forward anyway. What makes me emotional is because I know how much fear has kept you from doing the things that you need to do. But God is calling you forward. You have to trust him. You have to trust him with every step of the process. He will be there with you. Do not be afraid.